Hey everyone, just want to make sure that this is live. Give us a second. Here we go. Looks like we're live. Cool. So hey, welcome. It's awesome to see you all again today. So thank you for joining me. Very excited. Today we've got some awesome topic. So for those who don't know me yet, I'm Sam. I'm your confidence coach, and today we're going to be talking about weight and body confidence issues that are holding you back from living your best life. This is a topic that comes up all the time, so I think it's a really fitting thing for us to be talking about today. We're also going to be talking about the things that you can start to implement daily to start loving yourself and your body as it is now, so that it can start working with you. So if you're watching, comment and say hey, so I know that you're here, and give me a like or a heart and show me some love. Tell me where you're watching from. And if you've got questions along the way, drop them in the comments box and I'll answer as many of them as I can during the time that we have together today. As always, if you're watching the replay, be sure to give me a hashtag replay in the comments so that I know that you stopped by. And also go ahead and leave any questions that you have in the comments and I'll get back to you. So, hi, I have a viewer. Well, I've got some viewers. Say hi so I know that you're there. Otherwise, I'm just seeing little eyeballs. All right, let's jump in. So, as women, most of us are really hard on ourselves and how we look. We want to fit into that bikini for summer. We want to fit into that dress for the wedding. You know, we want to be the size that we were before we had the baby. Now, I know that when we aren't feeling good or comfortable in our own skin, this tends to have a domino effect on our career and our relationships too. So it's really important that we get back to feeling good. So through my time coaching women with body confidence and weight issues, I can tell you that over 80% of them are holding on to the weight or not able to keep it off, not because they're not dieting hard enough, not because they aren't working out enough, not because they've been yo-yo dieters for years, or because they're too old, or because of genetics, or, I mean, sure, these aspects do play a small part in it, but chances are you already know what it is that you need to eat to maintain a healthy diet. And you don't need me to tell you that sugar is bad for you, or you need to fill up on veggies, or you need to exercise more. I'm not going to tell you to do all of those things. Many people I know are doing all of those things, and despite all of that, weight loss is still a permanent struggle, you know. The biggest reason, really, that people hold on to the weight is due to psychological and emotional blocks. Basically, it's all the stuff that goes on in your head. So if you've tried dieting and exercise, plans and, all that stuff, and you still can't seem to slim down, there is likely some kind of psychological or emotional block that's standing in your way. So I'm not a dietitian, so I'm not going to get into the dieting and nutrition and exercise side of things. As you know, my space is more in the psychological and emotional arena. So for purposes of this discussion, I'm assuming that you're already on a workout plan and a nutrition plan. And if not, and maybe this is something that you want to do, DM me and I'll put you in touch with my coach. He's fantastic and he works with women all over the world online, and he's brilliant. So let's get into it. There are some common psychological and emotional blocks that come into play. So I'm going to go through the biggest ones, but by no means is this an extensive list. So take a listen to these and let me know if any of them sound familiar to you. Number one, we've got the all or nothing thinking. So that's when you find yourself walking a superbly thin line between sticking to your food or your workout plan, or completely falling off the wagon. So if this is you, you may be experiencing a cognitive distortion called all or nothing thinking. It's called a cognitive distortion because of the persistent, exaggerated thoughts that are not in line with what's going on in the real world. So people experiencing the all or nothing thinking in this scenario often believe that they're either a complete success or a total failure based on their food or their workout choices. Also, studies have shown that this kind of thinking style is closely linked to the perceived lack of control over eating and an inability to maintain a healthy weight. So instead of returning to a healthy eating or a workout pattern after enjoying a small indulgence or a small break, you're likely to throw in the towel and overeat or quit the gym completely based on the assumption that your diet and your workout plan is now a total failure. So the last thing that I want to mention about this is that eating for any other reason other than nutrition is considered emotional eating. So the next time you find yourself having a snack, really ask yourself if you're hungry or if maybe you've just had a stressful situation and food is acting as your comfort. Next is body image. So if you're trying to change your body size or your body shape, it's safe to assume that you're probably dissatisfied with its current state. We know that our thoughts impact our emotions and our behaviors. So having a strong dissatisfaction with your body can stand in the way of you reaching that healthy weight. Next, you may have a negative association with being slim. Perhaps you associate being slim with being sick or weak. Perhaps because of first-hand experience with somebody close to you who was thin for those reasons. Stress is another big one. In times of stress, we use food as a way of calming our emotions, and it's not just overeating that can become problematic. You know, your food choices are likely to change when you become more anxious, like indulging in foods with a higher sugar or calorie count. So if you overeat, you may be associating food with boredom and eat whenever you're bored. The next one is happiness. You may be unhappy because of your weight, but in order to achieve happiness, you need to love yourself. Happiness can only come from within. And if you don't feel that happiness, it can be difficult to lose the weight. Grab your journal, start listing your accomplishments and your successes ever since the day that you were born. This is one of the most effective ways to start getting a sense of pride and accomplishment and start seeing the value in yourself. Another reason might be that of imitation. And what I mean by that is that you may lack confidence and self-esteem, and you may be trying to compensate for those deficiencies by modeling yourself after someone that you admire. And if they're overweight, you may subconsciously want to look like them, and you may be afraid of deviating from their example. And second to that could be a fear of failure. You may be unable to lose the weight because you're afraid of experiencing a failure, which could then weaken your already poor self-image. So you never start. Another block could be that of self-punishment. Not only can it result in obesity, but it can poison your entire life. If something that has caused you to be guilt-ridden, you may be punishing yourself by overeating and making yourself unhealthy. Another big one that I see so often is personal or childhood trauma. And you know, it's been found that people who were exposed to physical or sexual abuse or peer bullying are typically at higher risk for obesity. And you know, we believe that weight gain can be used as an emotionally protective solution for survivors of abuse. Of course, not everybody who experiences personal or childhood trauma struggles to maintain a healthy weight. But if you experienced abuse, bullying, or neglect, there may be some connection there. Often, you may not realize that the challenges with intimacy or lack thereof are at the root of many weight problems. And you know, you may have had a partner that was uninterested in sex or selfish in bed. Perhaps you were raised with sex being taboo or not spoken about. And as such, reality can be one of mental blocks that are stopping you from losing the weight. So what I mean by the weight being an emotionally protective solution is that your fat cells protect you, literally forming a cushion between yourself and the outside world. It's a useful defense mechanism if you're very sensitive or easily hurt, or if you feel bullied, verbally or physically abused or unsafe. And typically, people who are abused or assaulted become unattractive to their partners or others by becoming overweight and thereby setting up a physical barrier to maintain distance. So this kind of fat shield is also useful when you aren't able to set healthy boundaries or speak up for what you want or what you need or what you don't want. So limiting beliefs are another big one. I've heard women say, I just can't lose the weight no matter how hard I try. Or I'm doomed to stay this way forever. Or my family is overweight, it's just in my DNA. Or it's just too hard. And one of my favorites, I just can't stick with it. So I challenge you, replace all of those I can'ts with I don't want to. And then ask yourself, why don't you want to? And you'll be surprised what comes up. And often what I found is that it's fear that holds us back. We fear sticking to it because we're scared to give up using the food to soothe ourselves. You know, I've heard things like, I'll never be able to eat my favorite foods again, or it's too expensive to lose weight. Hold on, expensive compared to what? Or my favorite, now isn't a good time. Okay, so if not now, when? You know, there is never a perfect time. Don't wait for Monday. Don't wait for the first of the month or whenever. Start right now, today. Make that decision now. You know, here's a conversation that I had with somebody recently. She says, I've tried everything to lose weight. I say, you've tried everything? She says, yep, everything. I say, okay, cool. Tell me about the last 100 things that you tried. The woman admits, well, I haven't tried 100 things. So I'm like, okay, cool. Tell me about the last 25 things you've tried. She says, well, I haven't tried 25 things either. So I'm like, okay, well, how many things have you actually tried? She says, maybe 5 or 6. So this just goes to illustrate how our limiting beliefs actually hold us back. You know, most people are completely unaware of their respective blocks preventing them from losing the weight, so they aren't able to deal with them. But this doesn't have to be you. So acknowledging which of these blocks you're dealing with is the first step, okay? And then you're able to start working through them. And as we've spoken about so many times before, our limiting beliefs are there to protect us. Every behavior, whether positive or negative, serves us in some way. So limiting beliefs give us a way to rationalize the easiest thing of all: doing nothing. That way we can remain the same and blame it on the beliefs that we have. So in the comments, I'd love for you to share with me what your limiting beliefs are around weight loss and what you're holding on to try that again. And holding on to the weight that you've got. What are your beliefs around that? What are the stories that you're telling yourself? So you may have found one or several of these psychological blocks look familiar to you. And I want you to know that it is not uncommon to experience multiple hurdles on your journey to a healthy weight. These hurdles do not need to prevent you from reaching success. So consider giving these tips a try. Keep a journal. As you identify stress triggers, write them down. As you identify ways of avoiding certain situations or people that undermine your success, write that down too. You can also plan ahead what you will do when you're faced with a certain situation. So for example, you're triggered by a stressful event at work. Typically, you know that you go downstairs to grab a donut and a coffee to get out of the environment. But you also know that this contributes towards your weight gain. So now that you're aware of the trigger and your behavior, you can choose to do something different. You still need to get out of the office and away from that trigger. So consider only getting a cup of coffee and de-stressing in a park nearby while you drink your coffee. Make small changes. So if the all or nothing thinking is preventing you from sticking to your food or your workout plan, consider taking small steps and setting short-term goals. First, identify one specific healthy change that is reasonable and attainable. Perhaps that's going for a walk around the block after dinner each day. Set a goal to focus on that target for a week. If you're keeping a journal, keep a note of ways that have been successful in keeping that goal in front of mind. Acknowledge your successes. Remember, small steps are better than no steps. Listen to your self-talk. Are you paying attention to the words that you say to yourself through the day? You might find yourself repeating negative statements about your body through the day. I'm so fat, or I'm so out of shape. Say out loud or in your head to yourself, it's the same thing, and it can totally undermine your ability to be able to take healthy steps. Also, your brain is hardwired to be right. So, it's going to make sure that you stay fat and out of shape because you keep telling it so. Okay? So for the next week, listen to your internal dialogue. Identify the messages that may be encouraging that negative self-image. Replace these messages with a powerful mantra. Phrases like, my body is strong, or I am enough, or I have come a long way. And if these don't resonate well with you, then you can substitute it for something like, I am committed to having a strong and healthy body, or I am committed to loving myself wholly and completely. Additionally, release your attachment to limiting beliefs. You may hold beliefs as to why you think you cannot release the weight. They could come from painful childhood messages like, you'll never amount to anything, or perhaps blind agreement with societal thought such as, everyone knows it's difficult to lose weight. Make room for positive affirmations to take hold by opening up your mind to replace the beliefs that you limit yourself with, and uplifting beliefs that support you. So when you come across those limiting beliefs, ask yourself, does this belief create doubt or fear? And is this belief contrary to my goals? If a belief does not support you, change it using affirmations. And you can use affirmations such as, I am releasing weight easily, and I am willing to release weight now. I deserve and accept perfect health now. I love and accept my body as I release the weight for my greater health and happiness. It's really important that the affirmations are written and used starting with I am, and they're written and said in the present tense. Okay, that will help to rewire your brain to start believing those things. And as I mentioned before, your brain wants to be right. So if you are continuously putting those positive affirmations in front of your brain, it has to prove itself right. Okay? Next is be grateful. And if you've been in the group for a while, or if you've been watching me for a while, you'll know that this is a big one for me. Find the gratitude in the situation. What is this trying to teach you? Why is this happening for you? What positives have come from you gaining the weight or losing the weight? What gratitude can you find for after you've lost the weight? Write it all down. Challenge yourself every day to find a minimum of 5 new things to write down each day. The next one that I like, and a lot of my clients will attest to this really working, but compliment your body daily. Find at least one nice thing to say about your body every single day. We forget to give our bodies the love and recognition that it deserves by simply being able to move and get us from point A to point B, or that we're alive, or that this body gave us this beautiful child that we're cradling in our arms. So each morning while getting ready for the day ahead, look yourself directly in the mirror and out loud give yourself a heartfelt compliment. Likewise, when other people give you compliments, no matter how small, stop deflecting them. Stop swiping them aside. Accept the compliment graciously. Add those compliments, as well as the ones that you're giving to yourself, to your journal so that you can refer back to it later. Next, learn relaxation techniques. If you aren't able to avoid the people or the places that cause you stress, relaxation techniques can be a healthy alternative for managing emotions during stressful times. Research has shown that guided imagery or guided meditations can help with weight loss. And there are many free apps or YouTube videos that you can use to help you with this. Another big one is to prioritize sleep, because research has shown over and over again that there is a link between sleep habits and stress, depression, and unhealthy eating behaviors. So make your bedroom a sanctuary for sleep. Remove all electronics. Do as much as you can to reduce the noise and the light to get a wonderful night's sleep. And lastly, seek help. You don't need to go through this alone. There are therapists, there are coaches like myself to help you smash through these barriers so that you can start to live life on your terms. And if your circumstances prevent you from working with a specialist, then consider using one of the newly developed apps that provide mental health counseling via text or Skype or FaceTime. So I'm going to leave you with a few last thoughts. Approaching weight loss with a confident approach will help you to be successful. A negative mental attitude can keep you stressed and make the process of losing weight very difficult, if not impossible. So don't be hard on yourself. Focus on changing your behaviors and habits instead of focusing on the numbers of the scale, Journal, journal, journal. Listen to your internal dialogue. Discover your patterns of self-talk, your fears, your negative beliefs, your motives for keeping the weight. Once you know what you're dealing with, then you can start working through them. And lastly, nobody has reached their ideal weight in a week. So take small changes, take small changes to your lifestyle and dietary habits, and do the internal work needed on a daily basis to practice self-love and to start the process of healing and releasing those limiting beliefs and emotional blocks. So I truly hope that this helped you. What I do know for sure is that you do have it within you to bust through all of your fears, your traumas, your limiting beliefs, and really start shedding that weight for good. You are stronger than you think. And the beauty is that you don't need to do it alone. So if it is time for you to get that support, send me a DM. I'm here to support you. I'm here to hold your hand every step of the way. And if you joined late, please watch the replay from the beginning. We've been looking at weight and body confidence issues that are holding you back from living your best life, as well as what it takes outside of dieting, nutrition, and exercise that might be keeping the weight on you. And the fact that you have shown up today to watch this tells me that you are showing up for yourself and that you are taking action, and then you can do absolutely anything that you set your mind to. And I'm so, so, so proud of you for showing up for yourself today. So take a moment to acknowledge and honor yourself for taking that first step to conquering your fear and shedding the weight. So I'd love to invite you to DM me right now and tell me what limiting beliefs you're facing around your weight, what's keeping you up at night, how can I help you navigate this. Don't keep trying to do this alone. It's not necessary. You are not alone. And I'm here and I'd love to help you. So again, I hope you found today of value. We're moving house next week, so I won't be seeing you live next Friday. We're moving to a beautiful home that we manifested, which is overlooking the ocean in Koh Samui. And I can't wait to get there. So the live that was scheduled for next week will be shifted up by a week. And then you'll be seeing my new office. I'll do my best to jump into the group daily and answer any of the questions or comments that have come up. But until then, I hope you have an amazing weekend, everybody. And I'm sending you all so, so, so much love. Please stay safe and be well. I'll see you soon. Bye.